Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to #PHvote 2013, Rappler's coverage of the elections. We are coming to you live from the Bayanihan Center in Mandaluyong. Our War Room coverage is powered by fiber. You're in our control center where professional journalists, civic society, citizen journalists, IT professionals, artists, and many more are trying to use technology for social change. You'll see most of what we do on www.rappler.com, but we're also a hybrid of broadcast professionals adapting to the web, and that is the coverage you'll get from us. You'll get headlines at the top of every hour, and we'll update you on what's new. Keep us open on your browser. When we're not giving you headlines, you'll see our team working to prepare for the next update. You'll hear from our editorial team, our social media team, Move PH, which harnesses civic society and citizen journalists. Over at Pope Pius, our technical staff's working closely with Comelec on the Rappler Mirror server. That will funnel results to broadcast networks ABS-CBN, GMA7, TV5, Solar, and citizen watchdog NAMFREL. Here are the latest stories this hour. Failure of elections is declared in several precincts in Baguio. A firefight between supporters of rival gubernatorial candidates erupts in Sulu, and ballots meant for Compostela Valley wind up in Baguio City precincts. Right now, we are in the middle of the 6th hour of voting. Let's go straight to Natasha Gutierrez live in Cavite, where we've been watching closely since 6 a.m. Natasha, what's going on there now?
Hi, Maria. We're still here in Baguio City, where the mansion of the Revilla clan is. At about 12:45 p.m., the Cavite Chief Inspector Reynaldo Magdaluyo came here to speak to Senator Bong Revilla. We're unsure, actually, if he was carrying the search warrant that Senator Revilla has been waiting for, but I personally didn't see any papers that he was holding. Right now, they are behind closed doors. They're having a meeting. It has been running for, I would say, 45 minutes now. The meeting is about, and to know why Chief Inspector Magdaluyo came here and what exactly they discussed.
Can you give us context again for what's happening? Why is a national senator, Bong Revilla, involved in the local races in Cavite?
Absolutely. Well, this morning, a search warrant was obtained by the Regional Public Safety Battalion here in Cavite for Senator Revilla's compound and vehicles which allegedly had firearms in it. The story goes is that around 2 a.m. earlier this morning, about 30 we're getting mixed numbers. About 30 suspects sought refuge in Revilla's mansion. They had earlier refused to cooperate with police, and they were allegedly carrying firearms. Now, Senator Revilla apparently was the one who told them to go there. That is what these people with firearms said. And they sought refuge in the mansion. Now, earlier also, they had, the word was castigated troops. The regional police actually asked them why they had firearms with them, but they were terrified as well. They were terrified.
We're getting garbled noise from Natasha Gutierrez, who's live from Cavite. Let's set the stage for what's going on there right now. You have 75-year-old Ayong Maliksi. He's the congressman of Imus, the governor for 9 years. He's challenging the incumbent governor, 45-year-old John Vic Remulla. His father, former governor, and his father, Johnny Remulla, actually started Maliksi's political career. So you can see the family ties there. But here's the most interesting part. John Vic Remulla's running mate is the son of Bong Revilla and Lani Mercado. Maliksi's running mate is the son of Panfilo Lacson. Right now, you're seeing a bit of a standoff at the home of Senator Bong Revilla, where some armed men were chased or are inside, waiting for an arrest warrant. I think it's just been served. Natasha, are you back online with us now? Okay, we're not getting Natasha right now, but essentially we're looking at Cavite. We have a senator of the Republic involved. The PNP is asking to go in and see whether the armed men there are, one, are they armed, and two, were they the ones involved in a standoff with the PNP at 2 a.m. this morning? Cavite represents a lot of what's wrong in Philippine politics. You've got warring political clans, you've got betrayals and shifting loyalties. Also a site of violence in the 2010 elections. We're watching closely. We're going to bring you Natasha back. Supporters of rival gubernatorial candidates Abdusakur and Abdulwahid Sadihullah are locked in gunfight early Monday in Tongkil, Sulu. Tan is the incumbent governor and the official candidate of the ruling Liberal Party. Sulu is another election hotspot. The military in Sulu has dispatched a helicopter gunship to contain the incident. 9 towns are placed by the police. 9 towns in Pampanga are under the police watch list because of the presence of loose firearms and partisan armed groups, what the police call PAGs. These towns are Mexico, San Simon, Sasmuan, Arayat, Guagua, Mabalacat City, Magalang, Candaba, and Lubao. In Tarlac, 13 places are under the police watch list. We're going back to Natasha Gutierrez, who's now back with us live from Cavite. Natasha, tell us what's going on right now. We set the stage. You are at Senator Revilla's home.
Yes, hi Maria. Let me just clarify some things as more details are coming in. According to the provincial police, they had 200 bikers in black a while ago earlier at about 2 a.m. And they had refused to listen to regional police. This is the version, of course, of the Regional Public Safety Battalion. And after a standoff, these people, who also apparently included people wearing NBI vests and NAPOCOM vests, sought refuge, about 30 of them, sought refuge into the house of the Revillas. And the Regional Public Safety Battalion says these people wearing NBI vests, these vests were actually fake. But the story of Senator Revilla is that these aren't armed men. First of all, the bikers are actually volunteers who are trying to prevent vote buying. Why they were out at 2 a.m., we're not entirely sure the specific situation they were trying to prevent. But Senator Revilla also insists that these NBI people were actually the ones who were carrying firearms and not the bikers. He also denied that these NBI officials came into his house. He said they just parked outside his compound. We're obviously getting, mixed sides here. The Regional Public Safety Battalion, the provincial police is at a completely different side. They said that these bikers as well as people were castigating the troops of Cavite. But the Cavite police is saying, there was trouble here. You weren't listening to us. Why were you out here at 2 a.m. in the first place? And why were you carrying firearms? Obviously, Senator Revilla's camp is crying harassment, as they have been for several weeks now, and it just seems that it escalated today on election day of all days.
It's interesting. So let me just clarify, is the implicit assumption here, the reason why Senator Revilla is crying harassment is that the PNP is harassing him, and because of this implicit assumption that they're working with Panfilo Lacson, or still tied to him?
Yes, that is right. That is the implication. He has refused to actually pinpoint it, but he has definitely implied it throughout. He has said that he thinks the target is his son, Jola, as he is running for vice governor against the son of Senator Panfilo Lacson. And earlier today as well, Representative Lani Mercado, who actually hasn't spoken in the press conference with us here, but earlier she said that, she had implied the connection of Senior Superintendent Glenn Dumlao, who is head of this public safety battalion group, who used to be allies with Senator Lacson. Actually, they were both the co-accused in the 2001 the Sarah Corbito double murder case. So definitely there are ties there. And yes, that is the implication why they're being harassed. And again, this is a story that Senator Revilla has been sticking with. He says the police here in Cavite has been biased towards the other side. As we know, the other side is Representative Maliksi running under the Liberal Party. And again, we all know that Senator Lacson is a close Aquino ally.
Interesting. So what we're actually seeing at the home of Senator Revilla now is actually a proxy conflict that's connected to the battle for Cavite between John Vic Remulla and Maliksi. Natasha, thank you so much. We're going to come back to you and keep track of what's going on there. Please let us know if anything happens. Natasha Gutierrez from Cavite. Let me just clarify a story on the Commission on Elections' supposed declaration of failure. Comelec denies there's been a failure of elections in areas. Comelec said that declaring a failure of polls in areas encountering problems is too early, and this is a direct quote from Comelec at this stage. It's too early at this stage. Only the Comelec and Bank can declare a failure of elections. This is what Comelec officials said. Media reports say the declaration of failure of polls was made by local officials. Ballots meant for Compostela Valley wind up in several Baguio City precincts on Monday. Barangay Lualhati in Baguio City receives ballots intended for Barangay Gabi in Compostela Valley. The Commission on Elections says voters would need to wait for a special election. Let's take a quick look back at developments so far in the last 6 hours. Up to 96 polling precincts have not received their ballot counting machines and other election materials as of Monday morning. Overseas, absentee voters around the world cast their votes. Comelec records show there are more than 700,000 registered Filipino voters. Up to 60% of them are expected to vote. The Energy Department releases a power outlook for today's polls. In Maguindanao, at least 3 improvised explosive devices are planted in different areas in Sharif Aguac before the opening of polling precincts, and President Benigno Aquino casts his vote in Central Azucarera de Tarlac Elementary School. Incumbent Manila Mayor Alfredo Lim, former President Joseph Estrada, and senatorial candidate Cynthia Villar have also cast their votes. We're listening now. We're on the line is Paterno Esmaquiel. He is talking. Okay, we're still waiting for Paterno. Let's go to Josh Villanueva, who has some special features in Rappler who can show you these special features. Josh, it's yours.
Maria, before I go to the special features, I want to just give a shout out. I'm actually watching the live broadcast on my smartphone right now. So, and we just launched our Android app yesterday. So if you're an Android user, you might want to head over to the Google Play Store and download the Rappler app. We also have an iOS app. So even if you're on the go, as long as you have a great internet connection, 3G connection or LTE connection, then you can watch this broadcast on your smartphone. Isn't that cool, Maria?
Love it.
I've been monitoring social media, and one of our users, Just Call Me Lloyd, actually sent us forwarded a post of by one of his friends on Facebook, and she tells a story of how her PCOS machine at the Balara Elementary School wasn't working. So the volunteers, she says, were collecting all the filled up ballots, putting them in a box, and she started getting worried, and she wanted to know if it's okay, what should she do. Now, I had a talk with Gigi Go when she briefed us prior to the elections, and Gigi says that actually, if the PCOS machines don't work, there are backup PCOS machines. But what's going to happen is they are going to collect your ballots. What you can do is, if you don't want to, you don't have to turn them over right away. You can hold on to them. But I know that a lot of you have other things to do in the day. But you can be extra vigilant. You can hang around and see what they do with their PCOS machines. At the end of the day, they should feed those ballots into a spare PCOS machine. If there are no available ones in your precinct or in the nearby precincts, there should be one in your municipal hall or the city capitol office, depending on whether you're at a town or a city. Another way that I want to, and having said that, I want to talk about this page. We talk about being vigilant. So we actually set up a page on Rappler. It's called Vote Watch. And we ask you to help us monitor violent vote buying. But actually, if you have something to report about the elections, you can use this page as well. Every story on Rappler actually has the share bar where you can like, you can tweet, you can +1 on Google, and at the end is actually a button called Report. So if you press that Report button, a pop-up window will come out, and all you have to do is fill up this form, and preferably you allow us to take note of your location, fill that up, put your name and your email address so that we can contact you and hit submit. We will map that, and at the same time, we will also be able to get back to you and track whatever it is that is happening in your community. There's another feature on Rappler that I want to talk about. we actually, a lot of people have already been tweeting in, asking us, do we have a results page? Will we have a results page? Of course we do. We will be announcing the link very, very shortly, so stay tuned for that. We have an article on Rappler about tight, costly races in 49 provinces. When we do post that results page, you might want to be extra vigilant too and monitor the results in these 49 provinces. All you have to do is look for this article, tight, costly races in 49 provinces. One more thing.
What's interesting about that one, though,
Yes.
Josh, is the fact that in these provinces, it's those local races. The LP, the Team Pinoy candidates, are actually going to have to be looking out for themselves. So earlier, Gigi just pointed out that it may not work for Team Pinoy. They may not be able to deliver the kind of votes that they needed.
Indeed. There are a lot of them here, so you might want to check out if your location is included in this list, and then you should be extra vigilant. Help us monitor online. There are a lot of results. We're gonna have results from all the way down to your town. Let me give you one more page. It's an infographic that we put together, our graphics team. We have a great graphics team here at Rappler. A lot of you are also asking who is allowed inside the polling precincts. So we have an infographic, of course, the BEI, poll watchers, COMELEC representatives. So go through this list. There's also a list of people that are not allowed inside the polling precinct. Military personnel are supposed to be 50 meters away from the polling precinct. So check out this article. All you have to do is go to Rappler.com, do a search for persons allowed or not allowed in poll precincts. Oh, yeah?
Josh, last question is, in terms of social media, I mean, we saw changes in moods during the day. At the early morning hours at 6 o'clock, it was quite positive, right?
Quite positive.
And then about 2 or 3 hours ago, we saw it shift. Could you tell us what you saw on social media?
Okay, so this morning, of course, everybody was excited. We heard a lot, especially from the first-time voters. They woke up really, really early. Actually, I have a deck prepared for you, so maybe I can go over that deck later on. Then as the day progressed, there were a lot of problems reported. PCOS machines not working. Some people were reporting that there were brownouts or blackouts in their respective areas. But also what we did and what I want to share with you later is that we actually put out a conversation, and that conversation is ongoing right now. We have a whole social media team standing by for your responses. We want to know how long it's taken you to vote, and we have received a variety of responses. The shortest, I think, is about 3 minutes, but we've had people report to us that they have been, it took them about 4 hours to vote. So as the day has progressed, Maria, a lot of complaints coming in, but there are also people reporting that it went smoothly for them. So
excellent. Actually, it seems like there's more of that in
Right.
context, and we're focusing on
Right.
the things. Wonderful. Okay,
not
Josh.
as negative as 2010 for sure.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Josh Villanueva. He's going to be back to tell you about social media. Now we have with us Nicole Curato. She is UP professor and convener of UP's Election Watchdog. Nicole, thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So you're watching these elections. Tell me, what's different about this? Why are they important?
Yes, this election is very interesting for me because it has two phases. On one hand, it's a tightly contested race, particularly for the Senate. A lot of people have said that this is the culmination of the political dynasty's problem, and we can really see that with the races, both local and in the senatorial race.
Yes.
But it's also very interesting because while it's tightly contested, particularly in the Senate, there are also a lot of uncontested seats, and Rappler made an excellent feature about that. So it's really a mixed picture of how competitive these elections are. So I think for me, that's what's really standing out for the 2013 midterm elections.
If you were to look at it as a barometer of Philippine democracy, how would you rate us today? It's 27 years after people power.
Right. Well, my personal perspective here is that Philippine democracy is not just about elections. Because if we only look at elections, then we will have a very depressing picture of how Philippine democracy is like. But the good thing with elections is that it also articulates or emphasizes what's also good in the Philippines democracy, with the vigilance, for example, of ordinary citizens, with the concerted effort of NGOs, grassroots movements, people's organization. So it's always a mixed picture, I think. And even though Philippine democracy is not just about election, it kind of brings into sharper focus what is right and what is wrong with our democracy.
In terms of what we're seeing today is a lot of Pico's machine failures. In context, how do these things, how does it look when you pull out and show it in context?
Right. In terms of election-related violence, there has been a huge academic literature in terms of what they call bossism in the Philippines. The way the Philippine
or in the past,
state,
guns, goons, and gold.
Exactly, you're right. It's really just an extension of how the Philippine state has been set up, because we have almost autonomous provinces where you have traditionally a local warlord that has been governing that province, and now it's just articulated in the form of an elected official. So in a way, bossism or warlordism is really just an extension of what we've always had in the Philippines in the first place. What's challenging is that now we claim to have a democratic system to mediate supposed warlords against warlords, but in a way we are just sort of formalizing that intra-warlord competition within these provinces.
Is that connected to political dynasties? Is it normal that the political warlords are also part of political dynasties?
Yes, because a lot of tightly contested seats right now are also seats that are contested among dynasties themselves. And one reason why it's somehow related, although I have to see the data in its more granular form to make that conclusion, but probably the reason why they're connected is that dynasties have power that is consolidated. So it's only a dynasty that can fight a dynasty as far as guns, goons, and gold is concerned. So I don't think it's accidental that these election-related violence are related to dynasties too.
Up to nearly 70% of Congress comes from the dynasty. So we're seeing that we have to fight a lot. But this is also a very young population. The median age of the Philippines is 21 years old.
Right.
Do you see change? And if you do, how?
Yeah, it's very fascinating. I just posted an article in UP's Halalan website yesterday on how the observation that the top senatorial candidates in the survey, I think, has an average age of 43. And then the bottom ranked senatorial candidates, the average age is, I think, 53, 57. So there's that big distinction. Although again, if we try to bring in the dynasties component here, let's look at candidates that are under 40. That would be Nancy Binay, who's 39.
Yes.
Bam Aquino is probably definitely under 40, and they're in the top. But there are also very young candidates that are at the bottom. These are Christian Señeres, Greco Belgica, Moy Villasos. And interestingly, it's Señeres and Belgica that have officially held a public post in the past, and they're also young candidates.
And they're nowhere in the survey.
So I would be very cautious to say that we are voting younger candidates, because we're also voting not voting a lot of younger candidates, and that's where the dynastic element comes in. The younger candidates that are able to make it come from a dynasty.
In the end, some of the neuroscientists are saying that a lot of the way we're going to be voting is based on emotions, and the emotions reflect values.
Right.
So right now, you have a young population that is increasingly connected on the internet. But do you see what values are important to this generation?
I think dynamism is a very important value. From where I'm coming from, I think it's not really a case of whether I totally agree with what this politician stands for, whether this politician necessarily mirrors everything I believe in. I think a lot of young people would tend to look at politicians that have energy, that have that creative spirit, that's able to present something new, right? So I hope this is direction that we're trying to get at in the future, although there are also a lot of studies that say there's really no such thing as a youth vote, right? So
yes. The other thing that's interesting to me are the different platforms.
Yeah.
When the politician campaigns in the countryside, they're talking to a different demographic than when they're online on the internet. And what's fascinating to me is watching the Rappler poll, where you actually had a very different group come up. Even though Lauren Lagarde was number 2, June Magsaysay was number 1.
That's right,
and then you had Risa Ontiveros and Bam Aquino, Sunny Angara, still dynasty, but the younger group, and they don't place anywhere near in the Pulse Asia or SWS survey. How do you see these different worlds converging? Do they converge at all?
I would like to think that they do, right? That somehow there is this theory that everyone somehow converges to being social media savvy. It's really just an issue of inequality, for example, not everyone having access to the internet. But it's also very revealing, because social media's assumption is that there's more information there. So if we take that premise, if everyone has equal access to the kind of information that they get in social media, if everyone has access to Rappler, for example, in all of your in-depth analyses, then maybe this is what a more informed electorate would look like. But of course, the trouble with making that argument is that we are being accused of making an elitist argument, that why do you kind of devalue the preferences of those, let's say, who are from classes C, D, and E, right? So it's really a mixed picture here, because maybe the other thing that we can do is to try to be plugged in better to what they're trying to tell us. Like, for example, we can't just assume that they're voting for a particular candidate because of patronage. We have to unpack that further. Why does patronage sell? Maybe a lot of studies are also saying that vote buying, for example, is a rational economic choice. It's a product of thinking. It's a negotiated outcome between the voter and the vote buyer, right? So it
is,
cannot
yeah.
be simply dismissed as people not having information. There is a particular rationality that probably people plugged into the social media don't necessarily get, and we have to work harder to get plugged into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because particularly since you only have like about a third of the population on the internet. But let me ask you, given the studies that you've done, the Filipino today, the snapshot that you get of this Filipino, what is important to him or her, and what will they be voting for? Obviously, if it's an economic choice, are they going to sell their votes? Okay, let's go with that. But is there anything new about these elections? Do we see any movement?
Yeah, that's very tough, because now we can start comparing this election to the 2010 election. The 2010 election was really just a litmus test of what the social media savvy generation can do compared to what they can do now. So probably the partial answer I can give really is to have that correlation between the amount of information that they get and the kinds of candidate that they vote for. Although, of course, talking to a lot of colleagues, people who also have access to information, I still see a lot of people who say, I'm voting for this person because she's my friend or because my friend knows him. And these are people who already have information. But I guess old habits die hard, right?
Yes. Are you optimistic? I mean, are you optimistic?
Yeah, my mood meter is optimistic.
It is. You seem optimistic. What keeps you optimistic?
I guess just seeing this room, for example, makes me really optimistic. I mean, a lot of young people, and I feel really old in this room, and I still
don't say that. I'm at least older than you. Go ahead,
but these are your peeps, right?
Yes.
Just seeing people in this room makes me really optimistic, and I think if we can replicate something like this on a more egalitarian level, like a lot of people having the same access to information and quick analysis, then we have reason to be very optimistic. Information has been democratized now with a 15 peso only internet surfing. I think that's a good thing. Of course, there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of access to information. FOI still has to be passed, but these are some signs that make me feel optimistic. I really think that with better access to information, voters can make a more informed decision.
I'll give you something that was fascinating that had me jumping up and down last night.
Right.
The candidate profile pages were the top 10.
Yeah.
It really showed us that people were doing their research, and that was worth all of our work of the small group. So
it's the same experience with the UP's Halalan website. The IT guys were telling me that the traffic is similar to the traffic when we release UPCAT results, and that is a big deal, right?
Excellent.
And the most accessed page are also candidates' profiles, and I feel like they're also checking out a lot of websites to counter-validate what they're seeing on different websites in terms of information. So that makes me really happy, like you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nicole, we're gonna continue our conversation because there are many more questions I want to ask you, but I want to go to our editorial desk now. Our super desk is what we call our super desk, and the Superman desk editor is Carlos. Carlos, what are you getting? What are you following now?
Hi, Maria. Well,
let me tell you his last name, Carlos Santa Maria. He is part of the super desk. Please.
Hi. Well, one of the things that's caught my attention is we've talked a lot about because machines not working. We've talked a lot about vote buying, but a British election observer in Maguindanao has claimed an election flop, but in a different way. He says that that he went to an elementary school, in Maguindanao, and before the polls opened, the machines that arrived were not sealed, so it's possible that they could have been tampered with. He says he's trying to determine the intention.
Okay.
He's not sure that there's any malice, but at least so far it seems like this is just an isolated case.
you're talking about roughly 60 foreign election observers in the Philippines now. Is that right, Carlos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to point out, you're a Spaniard, right?
Yes.
And you've covered the foreign elections observers. What's been your experience with vote buying, with the unique situation, well, not so unique, of Philippine elections?
Yes. This is my third election, and definitely I've learned a lot. This particular incident reminds me of 2007. After the election, I attended a press conference by a group of foreign observers, and it was a very curious thing they said. A number of them were Malaysian and Indonesian. They went down to Mindanao. I can't recall exactly where. And the voters themselves were offering their votes to them. So that really, really surprised them, because they said they thought that maybe they looked very similar to Filipinos, and since they were relatively well dressed, the locals thought they would be candidates. So they went and say, hey, I'll give you my vote for 500 or 400 pesos.
So the Filipinos thought that they were the candidates and offered to sell them their votes.
Yes.
Okay, I hope they reported that year. Okay, Carlos, anything else?
No, just after that. Of the 60 you quoted, quite a few of them are in Maguindanao to supervise the vote. There was a lot of interest after the 2009 massacre.
Okay, we're going to be coming back to see what stories you're following. We'll also go to Move PH and back to Josh Villanueva, but let's go to this hour's headlines before we take a short break. This hour, we have these headlines. COMELEC denies the failure of elections in certain areas. A firefight between supporters of rival gubernatorial candidates erupts in Sulu, and ballots meant for Compostela Valley wind up in Baguio City precincts. We'll be back with you in a short while. Stay with us and watch while we gather the news for the top of the next hour. This is just a few short minutes. We're going to keep UP professor Nicole Curato with us. Keep us open on your browser. Refresh. You're going to see, hopefully not too many people running around, but you're going to see us try to pull together everything for you at the top of the hour. Talk to Rappler.com on social media, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Use the hashtag PHvote. Rappler's coverage of today's elections continues.